This is the Model TV once again. Take a look at this amazing headpiece. This isn't just a hat, it's a statement. 3 layers, one stunning white brim fascinator. Let's go, let's get into the video. Can you imagine that this design is very simple, that you can do it yourself? Let's get into the video. I will be taking you on a step-by-step tutorial session on how to create this wide brim headpiece. Now let's take a look at the materials you need for this design. First, it's the millinery wire, or what you call hat wire. Then the fabric, you need gum, you need bias, you need thread and needle, then scissors and Alice band. Okay, let's see the steps. The first step is to measure your millinery wire according to the size of the brim you want to use. If you want your brim to be very wide, then your wire has to be long. In this video, the measurement I used is 60 inches for the first layer, then 50 inches for the second layer, and 40 inches for the third layer. Remember, this is a 3 brim fascinator, so for the 3 of them you use different inch because one has to be bigger than the other, and so the third one. The second step now is to form your brim. Take a look at what I'm doing closely and ensure that you watch this video till the end to get exactly what to do and when to do it. So you spread your fabric. Step 2, spread your fabric, put in the millinery wire into the fabric and make a knot. Tie a knot, fold the fabric into one big knot and tie it like what I'm doing here. When you tie it firmly, you cut out the excess. Remember, the fabric you need to use determines how wide your brim is going to be. For this video, I'm using 2 yards of fabric, but if you want to design a brim that is as big as what the model in the picture I displayed at the beginning of this video used, it means you get up to 3 or more yards of fabric, and you will take more than 60 inches of the millinery wire to have a wider brim. Also in that picture, the fabric, the brim is circle, mine will be oval, and this is where you determine the shape of the brim. At this point where you are folding, making this knot, covering the millinery wire with the fabric, you use your hands and shape the millinery wire at this point into your desired shape. The tighter you squeeze this bow, the smaller your brim is, but when you loosen it, you make it bigger. And your fabric also determines the size, your fabric and the length of your millinery wire. This is it. I've tied it. You can see the down part is plain straight, while the other part with the knot is kind of pleated. Watch till the end to see how I will trim out the other part of the fabric to have just one side, like what we have in the video. Have you subscribed to the Model TV? If you haven't, hit the subscription button now, and also turn on the notification bell. Turn on all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And let me hear from you in the comment section. Do you think this process is simple enough, or this tutorial is elaborate enough for you to understand what to do and how to do it? I'd love to hear from you. So step 3 is piping. You'll be using bias to pipe the millinery wire. You spread your gum on the bias generously, allow it to dry for some minutes, then you now use it to pipe the wire. You use your hand to press it down. Now for this video, I am using 2 rolls of bias. Also, your bias, now the rolls of bias you will need depend on how wide your brim is. For this size that I'm doing, I'm using 2 rolls for the 3 layers. So if your brim is wide and maybe you are using more than 3-4 layers, you know you are going to buy more rolls of bias. If you have any question, leave a comment for me in the comment section. I'll be right there to respond. Pay attention and stay put. Watch the video till the end so you see how we're going to do this. So this is the 3rd step of this design, and by step 5 the fascinator will be ready. Let's continue. So after piping with the bias, it is advisable that you still apply your gum generously and take your time to press the bias down on the fabric to have a firm hold. Secondly, you hardly get a good gum, so you have to take your time and spread the one you have dry, then press it down to be sure that it is firmly tight. Now using my hand to press it down all round. You do this for the 3 layers, and at the end, you know how finishing, you bend the bias. You don't just leave it that, you finish it properly such that one will not know where the bias stopped. So this is step 4. As you can see, I'm trimming out the upper part of the fabric where I tied the bow. I hope you are watching closely. You use your scissors and carefully trim it out so that you have just one layer, a straight and stretch this thing brim. Look at it here. You just trim this out carefully all round. After trimming, you have to spread your gum once again and press down the bias on the remaining fabric. Remember, the other fabric you've cut it out, the upper part of the fabric you've cut it out, and maybe that's where your gum the other time stopped. So now that you've cut it out, you have to put gum again and still use another bias to give it a perfect fit. This is my own way of doing this. There are so many ways to one particular design, but for me this is the easier way, so I used it, and I'm sure it will make sense and it will be simple for you to try your hands on. Let me hear from you in the comment section if you have another pattern, another way of doing this same thing. I would love to hear and see. Okay, so at this point I'm still passing my bias all around again. Remember, this is the second time, the second line, as I'm just putting it on the first one, then I allow it to flow on the fabric where I have trimmed the other layer of the fabric. I hope you understand my explanation. So at this point, the brim, the white brim, is very much ready. What I'm doing here is just finishing. Remember, I told you that by step 5 we will be done with this design, and this is it. We are on almost the last part of this design. The next thing will be to bring the 3 brims together and attach the molded base. So if you don't know how to mold a hat base, slide into my channel. You will see a video on how to mold hat base. It's there, and it's a simple and short video. You just watch it and you will see and know how to mold your hat base on your own. Yes, you can do it on your own. You do it yourself. It's very simple. So let's finish this up. Okay, the number 5 step is to attach the base to the brim. So this is it. Remember, I had molded this base, dried it before now, so I'll just attach it to the smallest layer of this brim. I want to attach it first for convenience before I attach the other ones, but if you want to put the 3 of them at once and then attach the base, is up to you. I'm just doing mine this way because it's convenient. So to attach this, you can use your candle gum, you can use thread and needle, you can even use this normal gum and still sew it with your thread and needle, but candle gum is more convenient, so you can use it and just spread the gum on the base neatly, then take it and place on the brim, in this case this layer. Now then you still pass your thread to secure it firmly, like what I'm doing here. You don't just use the gum and let it be, you have to tighten it, or let's say secure it with your thread and your needle neatly and firmly. Okay, also the black lining on the design, the picture I displayed at the beginning, is a ribbon, but I will not be using it for mine because it is close. Where I'm placing this molded base is close to the bias lining, so it will not really stand out. So I'm just sharing this with you in case you are doing a wider brim like what we have in the picture. You use a black ribbon or a pita charm to wrap around the base. You can make your base bigger, you can make it longer. It all depends on what you want to do and how you like your design, and this is where you release your own creative prowess. You don't just copy, you bring in your own ingenuity. So this is mine and the way I wanted it, so you can do yours the way you want it. This video is just a guide to help you make magic. So at this point, after attaching this base to the last layer, I will now bring the other 2 layers together and add to this one and attach them all together. Let's see how this looks like. Have you ever wondered how milliners create those show-stopping white brims, fascinators with perfect layers? Now I'm showing you how. So give me a comment in the comment section. In fact, give me a thumbs up before you comment. Give me a like and a thumbs up. It is more than this. It isn't. It's just from here you get up there. So give me a thumbs up. If you look at the video, the picture, you realize that it has, the back here has an opening where you get access to the molded base. Okay, but I'll not be doing that here because I want to use this just like a normal fascinator. But if you want to do that, all you need to do is to use your scissors or your razor and carve out the exact circle that leads like this back. You just carve this place after where I'm sewing now, the center, you just cut it out. Then you have access to the molded base and it will give you where you can put on your head, like you have access to the base. If you like, you put Alice band. If you don't like, you just use it like that. Especially if your molded base is wide and big, you wouldn't need an Alice band. But I don't want to open it. That is why I am attaching an Alice band on it right away. This is simple, but if you want the other one, you just cut out that circle and access the molded base. So this is step 6, which is the last step, that is attaching the Alice band and giving this a finishing touch. With these 6 steps, Your wide brim 3-layer fascinator is ready. It is simple and unique, yet very affordable. Like I said, there are so many ways to achieving this, but I just shared one way to achieve this, and I'll be sharing more. So turn on the notification button, notification bell, and all notifications so that you get notified whenever I upload a video. See you in my next video, and do well to comment.